We're going to bring in another guest, Keith Pounds. He has unique insight on how juries work because he's a jury consulting advisor at IMS Legal Strategies. Thanks so much for being with us, Keith.
Thank you.
One thing that I took away from the very beginning of all this during jury selection is that 2 lawyers were picked, right? And it's for this very part of the trial at the end. And you wonder if they're going to have a bit more sway than some of the others. Is that a concern for you?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question because, you know, you get a lawyer on a jury and they are usually looked to as a sort of an expert in on the legal instructions in particular. And so you've got 2 here. So, you know, one of the things that sort of struck me when they put them on the jury was that the prosecution must have felt very confident in their ability to meet their standard with regard to the law, because you've got two attorneys who would presumably hold them to what they needed to do. But it is New York, and you do have other really interesting jurors on the jury panel. And so one of the things that I would anticipate is that there could be other people in the jury room that could be leaders in the deliberation discussion.
I've also thought about, you know, it is liberal Manhattan, and they're obviously happy with who they picked for the jury. But they do go back to their life after this. How is it normally impacting their life after they are on high-profile cases? What have you seen in other areas? I mean, this is one of the biggest ever, right? It's the President of the United States, for crying out loud.
Right. Well, it is, you know, that definitely, you wonder what role that will play as jurors are in the process of deliberating. I will tell you, having seen, you know, hundreds of mock juries deliberate, that when they get into the room, you know, most juries really focus on the task at hand and try to tune out those distractions. It can be very difficult, and you wonder if any of that's going to kind of leak into how they're thinking about things. But after the jury is released, then, you know, presumably anybody could talk, any of the jurors could talk about that experience.
Yeah. And I imagine we will hear from them. That's what I think will happen afterward, for sure. We're going to bring in Hogan Gidley now, who is the Deputy White House Press Secretary for President Trump. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And Democratic strategist Kristal Knight, we've got you back as well. So former President Trump saying this on day 1 of jury deliberations. Let's take a listen. I'll let you respond.
Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged. It was all done by Joe Biden. This judge contributed to Joe Biden, and far worse than that.
Kristal, what do you make of this? You know, President Trump, the former president, has been saying this is a sham trial. What do you make of all this?
Well, I think I expect Donald Trump to say that, because he's always said anything that is against him is rigged. Anything that is against him is, you know, a problem, and that he is completely innocent. He has done nothing wrong. We know that this is the rhetoric that he always speaks. He feels that he is above the law. He also feels that he can do anything, and he said that before on the campaign trail in 2016. He continues to, you know, say these same tropes that he can go out and commit crimes and people would forgive him just simply because of who he is. He believes he's above reproach. And so it's interesting, rather, to see him in a courtroom having to have peers of his own deliberate on his fate. And I think that it will be telling what they decide and how it will impact his election.
Kristal, Democrats have underestimated former President Trump before. Could a potential conviction somehow actually, you know, enthuse and bolster his base?
You know, I've, wrestled with that question. I don't think that whatever happens, whatever the outcome is of this case, unfortunately, I don't believe that it will have a major impact on him. I think it will actually have an impact on the Democratic Party, really, in how we message what Donald Trump has done, who he is, a fraud, someone who has paid off an alleged porn star for an alleged, sex crime cover-up, or not crime, but a sex cover-up. So I think it's really on the Democrats. This is our election to lose. That's how I really feel about this election. That's how I feel about this case. And it's how we message it. It's how we turn it around on Trump's face, really on how it will impact his election. But as it relates to his base, I think he gets stronger.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.